Hi, y'all. Okay, let's get this party started. Let's chat about getting hooked on hashtags. I know hashtags are not a new thing, but what if we discussed them in a slightly different way? Have you ever felt like you're lost in a sea of businesses, of people that are doing the same thing? And sometimes those people, it feels like they're getting different results. They might be doing it better. How do you stick out from your competition? Well, what if I told you that there was a huge neon sign that people could point to your business, and could that big neon sign can come point back to your business? So let's talk about hashtags and clear up any confusion at what hashtags do and don't do. But first, a small disclaimer. Hashtags are not a magic wand. They are not magic beans. Hashtags are not your fairy godmother. Hashtags will not get you a result without thinking strategically about how those hashtags actually work. So, hashtags are not a replacement for stellar, amazing, fantastic content. Hashtags will help with discovery. You cannot have a post that is not visually captivating. You can't have a post without pretty strong copy. You can't have a post that something you think is cool, but your dream customer won't think is cool, and then expect hashtags to kind of like fix it. What do you mean by that? Because people will often ask me, Jasmine, how do I know I'm using the right hashtags? Well, I want to clear that up too. There's no such thing as the right or wrong hashtags. There are going to be hashtags that amplify good content. That's it. So, what we want to do more than anything is hang on one second. How is the sound now? Are we getting sound? And then right now I'm going to test. Are we getting sound here? Because we're going to chat about our four-step strategy. Okay, great. We had a little blip, y'all, but nothing's gonna stop us. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. Okay, one, I'm not old enough to know that song. My parents are, and that's what I listened to growing up. Let's dive into our four-step hashtag strategy, diving in with number one, who is your ideal client? And y'all, like, we have to make sure that when we say who is your ideal client, that like, who are you actually selling to? I cannot tell you how many times I've heard this again and again and again. Like, how are we gonna get down and drill down who it is? I don't care if you are selling NFTs. I don't care if you're selling dog food. I don't care if you're selling jewelry, t-shirts, plants, fishing bait. You have to know very specifically who you're selling to. It's a business foundation. But beyond that, if you want your social media content to be engaging, to click, to get people to like, comment, share, engage, if you want that, then you have to know who you are creating it for. So let's first identify that. Now, we don't want to leave you alone. We have created a guide to help you narrow down who that ideal client is. You can find that at jasminestar.com/ideal client. One of our brand ambassadors, Elizabeth, is watching. Elizabeth, can you drop that link here? jasminestar.com/ideal client. Let's get into step number two. Research 7 sets of hashtags. So what do we really mean by this? Well, let's get really specific. What type of hashtags are people going to be engaging with? Now, we always recommend getting hashtags that are where your dream customer hangs out, which goes back to step number one, which is to really understand who is your ideal client. Because if you don't know who your ideal client is, you're gonna have a really hard time. I think my baby's crying. Hey Jay, is she okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay, baby girl just bumped her head and her dad is with her. So I'm gonna stay focused and kind of drill in here. 7 types of hashtag categories. Knowing why your ideal client is super important so that then you can go think and so for instance, this past week at the time of this recording, it was like the Brit Golden Globes. It was like an award show, but it was for the UK. If you think that your dream customer wants to see what Adele was wearing on the red carpet, you should be checking out those hashtags. Again, if you don't know your dream customer, you're gonna have a really hard time knowing what those hashtags are. Let's get into step number 3 of 4. Choose hashtags related to the photo. So like, let's get really specific. So we wanna make sure that like the photo is just like you're using hashtags of things that are in the photo. Now, I know that it sounds super crazy, but I can't tell you how many times I have looked for a very specific hashtag for a very specific thing. Hashtag gratitude journal. Hashtag, I was looking for recently, ceramic coffee cups. Like when you can hashtag something, and then all of a sudden I started stumbling across accounts that weren't necessarily selling the ceramic cup, but I was super interested in what that person was saying. This is perfect for discoverability, using hashtags that aren't just talking about the thing that you sell, but things that are in the photo, just to pop into different types of social conversations. Rounding out our 4-step strategy, I'd like for you to choose 5 to 10 hashtags related to the content itself. What are you talking about? Are you talking about Instagram education? Are you talking about, mommy hacks or time-saving hacks? Are you talking about like love tips? You want to make sure that whatever your caption was describing, that those hashtags also reflect that. Because your hashtags should reflect what your ideal client was searching for. And if you got 5 minutes a day, here's a bonus step. We want you to engage, because if you want engagement, you have to give engagement. So the next question becomes, well, how do we do that? We want to block off time to engage with hashtags where your ideal client might be. So the question I have for you is, will you commit to 5 to 10 minutes per day? And if you answered yes, that you're like, you want to know what? I have been using hashtags, kind of, sort of, not really. I want to change my strategy. Well, great. Because what we want to do is make sure that you are well taken care of. Here is a link to our free hashtag guide, jasminestar.com/hashtag strategy. Boom. Now, let's get into a little bit of Q&A. Now, let's just state the obvious. This was a little bit of a rough conversation. I have only had 1 cup of coffee. I'm kind of like a 2.5 cup kind of girl. At the time of giving this presentation, what is this? Presentation? At the time of having this conversation, I heard my baby cry. And everything in me is like, stop what you're doing. But I heard her dad with her. But even though I know her dad is with her, my mind is like, is she okay? Does she need ice? And anytime the baby cries, I like to give her like frozen blueberries. She loves frozen blueberries. She gets so happy. And my mind is like, is he giving her frozen blueberries? He needs to give her frozen blueberries. But now I'm here. The house is quiet. I know she's okay. Her dad was talking to her kindly. So I'm going to refocus and compartmentalize and get into some questions to serve you well. I just obviously wanted to state the obvious because, I got a little distracted. Okay. Here we go. Marietta. Jasmine, do you have any tips on how to make the best out of Facebook page regarding page descriptions, cover photos, pin photos, the content that changes every day? Thanks in advance. It's been kind of crazy is that Instagram is changing directly to be following, going after, protecting what Instagram has on its account in relation to TikTok. It has been a very big shift to Instagram really highlighting Instagram Reels a ton, as opposed to the static photos. And so then all of a sudden, you now start seeing Facebook seeding, following what Instagram is doing. So Instagram's following TikTok, Facebook's following Instagram. So you'll see these iterations. What we try to do is to try to keep our content. I'm still posting every day, like 6 days a week, on 5 or 6 days a week on Facebook. I am still going live on Facebook. Over time, so this was the first quarter, I just saw it was reported in the Daily Mail that this was the first time in I think 9 years that Instagram growth has been on the decline. So less people were, I'm sorry, did I say Instagram? I meant Facebook. Facebook growth is on the decline. So less people logging in each day and less growth overall. So you're going to start seeing Facebook shifting the way it's displaying its content. I don't feel all that confident to say this is how you have to show up on Facebook. As of right now, I'm just kind of watching. I still will update header photos at least once a month, if specifically if I'm like, hey, I want people to pay attention to the page in a different way, or I want to promote a free resource. Like just in this conversation alone, we gave away 2 free resources, jasminestar.com/ideal client and jasminestar.com/#strategy. Maybe tomorrow we change the header so that it reflects one of those free resources because the team and I put it together. We want more people to know about it. As far as a description, I'm a big fan of having a boss bio. My description on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram is all the same. I want to create continuity within platforms. And as far as pinning content, I think that pinning content is very, very powerful if you're not posting all that often, or if you're posting a bunch of different type of content. If you come to my Facebook page, the content is going to be largely driven around 2 things: marketing and sales. And marketing and sales on the back of social media. I don't think it's all that important for me to pin something since a lot of the content is the same. But if you're selling a bunch of different products or if you have a bunch of different offerings, pinning what you want people to pay attention to is a really great thing. Or if you have like a bio video that you're like super excited about, you think it really showcases your business, I think that'd be a really great thing to pin. Let's go into Andrea Bates. Should I go back to past post and fix hashtags? No. Everything your mom said about not crying over spilled milk, focus on that. So Instagram, when it's showing a hashtag, will go to the top hashtags and then go to recent hashtags. If that post is not in the top hashtag, and most likely it won't be because it has to have a ton of likes and comments. This is where like those mega, like the influencers get a lot of attention. If it's not top and it's not new, fixing old hashtags won't really make an impact at all on how people are finding your content. Specifically, if you're trying to go back and fix a post from like last month or 2 months ago. Now that you have a 4-part hashtag strategy, start where you are and move forward. You will save so much more time focusing now and making the changes for what you want in the future. Okay, let's get into a few more live questions. Let's go into Christina. Does my ideal client need to be emotionally connected with me? No. I believe it is in your best interest to be emotionally connected with your ideal client. They don't know that they can or they should be emotionally connected to you. Your objective as a business owner is to be emotionally connected to them. What are their biggest frustrations? What are their biggest problems? What are they most afraid of? What are they most let down? Every business solves a problem. The best businesses solve problems in the fastest way, in the best way. So if you're sitting here and you're like, my business doesn't solve a problem. It does. Your objective should be to discover what problem you are solving. It changes everything. At Social Curator, I am the CEO and co-founder of Social Curator. At Social Curator, the problem we solve is that business owners are tired, stressed, and overwhelmed with marketing their business and getting sales. How we solve that problem is by giving them coaching and resources and done-for-you solutions. You have a problem, you want to market your business and get more sales. We have a solution. My objective as a business owner is to create so much content in the middle that you soon believe that this is the right solution for your problem. Now, you must do the same thing with your business. So let's take it back to being emotionally connected. You know how I said this middle part is there is a problem and your business is the solution, and in the middle is all the content you create to position your solution as the solution? Your content gets better. Your content is rich. Your content is engaging when you understand the struggle of what your customer or your client is going through. I always recommend to business owners to identify 3 emotions that your dream client, your dream customer is feeling. Are they tired? Are they frustrated? Are they overwhelmed? Are they overweight? Or do they feel lost? Whatever. Find out the emotions of what they're feeling right now. And then list 3 emotions that they're feeling. And then I want you to list 3 emotions that they will feel after they've bought your product or your service. 3 emotions they're currently feeling, and 3 emotions they will feel after they bought your product or service. For example, I know that business owners right now are tired, overwhelmed, and they feel stressed out with all they have to do in their business. Tired, overwhelmed, and stressed out. And whenever people are watching like a video like this, it's not making them feel any less tired, less overwhelmed, or less stressed out. They look at that and they're like, hey, I think she knows what she's talking about, but I still feel tired, stressed, and overwhelmed. And then the content that I create, because I'm saying, yo, I know you're tired, stressed, and overwhelmed, there is a solution over here. And with the solution, with additional group coaching, with the resources, with a marketing plan every single month, with accountability, what are you going to feel? That you will have more time for other parts of your business. That you're going to feel confident with how you show up in your business. And that you are going to become a leader in your industry for what you do and how you market your business. Problem, content that connects with my dream customer on an emotional level, and presenting of the solution. Will people always take how I presented the solution? No. In fact, on average, 2 to 3% overall will take you up on an offer. So if you are putting out content and you have 1,000 followers and you're emotionally connected, there's going to be 2 to 3% of people who will maybe take you up on the thing that you offer. So does your ideal client need to be emotionally connected to you? Not at all. Is it your best interest for you to be emotionally connected to your dream customer? Heck yes. Okay. Hannah Nichols, does hashtags work the same way on Instagram and Etsy? I will say that hashtags on TikTok and Instagram are unrivaled. So here's why. Instagram and TikTok built their app, built the connectivity with hashtags at the beginning. Facebook started saying, we need to incorporate hashtags, but hashtags were never part of the platform or the culture or the way you found something on Facebook. So Facebook uses hashtags, and if you tried using hashtags on Facebook, I would give them like a 2 out of 10 effectiveness. They're not really effective. Like, you don't really find what you're looking for. And that's no problem. Facebook was never really built for searchability. Facebook was built for connectivity. The original Facebook was, here is a way to connect with your friends in college. That was the original thing. And then it grew and grew and grew. And so it's now trying to take different components from different apps and put it within its app, but some of them pop and some of them don't. Instagram immediately started off with hashtags. It was part of how you found and connected with other people, and you found similar interest. TikTok started off with hashtags the same way. Now, Etsy hashtags, in my opinion, they're not as great as Instagram or TikTok, but they are much better than Facebook. So, and the reason why this is happening was because Etsy has sellers and inventory that go back years and years and years and years and years. So there are some established sellers who aren't using hashtags as part of their workflow and part of their listings. And so somebody can go in and use a hashtag or search a hashtag on Etsy, and they're going to see a limited amount of content that they're searching for. They will find only the things that sellers that are using hashtags will find, which are great for the for the sellers who are early adopters to the hashtags, but it might not be in the customer's best interest, because Etsy will be like, yeah, but we have so many other sellers who are selling much better things with much better reviews. But if they're not using the hashtags, it's a lost opportunity. So for a platform that starts off with hashtags, it's always a better experience and more effective. Sorry, did I just nerd out on that stuff? I nerd out on this stuff. Okay. Jessica Escalante asked, Facebook Reels, what's going on with that? I still don't have them yet. Is it still launching? It is still launching, and they are really encouraging their creators to, you sync up your Instagram Reels to Facebook, and then Facebook will show the Reels to people who are most likely to see it. I don't have my Instagram and Facebook linked up. I like to create content a little bit separately on those platforms. And I've also noticed that when I was posting reels on Facebook, they weren't really performing well. And I think it has to do probably with the fact that Facebook is like largely landscape. It's largely horizontal. It's largely desktop. So when you're looking at a reel on Facebook, even though they redesigned the feed, it still just feels a little wonky. And like there's a bunch of people on Facebook who are like, we're on Facebook because we don't like reels. So I will occasionally test a reel that I created on Instagram, and I might put it out on Facebook, but there's a good chance that I would crop the reel to be a square, because a square content on the current layout of Facebook, it just looks better. It just does. So, is it a thing? Kind of, sorta. Do you want to start testing it? Absolutely. I have been testing it and I kind of feel like it's not really for my Facebook audience. Occasionally I might use them, but by and large, I'm really keeping reels on Instagram, TikToks on TikTok. Okay, I've chatted on long enough. I show up every week just to have conversations and be able to meet people and share what I know in real time. It is always an honor and a privilege. If you would like more information on the free resources we included today, it was jasminestar.com/ideal client to help you understand and identify who you're speaking to so you can effectively use hashtags to connect with them, as well as another free resource, jasminestar.com/hashtag strategy. I hope you guys have a beautiful and wonderful day. Thank you for showing up here. Thank you for asking powerful and impactful questions. I hope you have a good